Hello, beautiful people from far and abroad. My Space Secrets here on this Thursday, June 3rd, 2010. Thank you for joining with us today. What I want to do is to cover this BP oil spill, and the oil spill that may signal trouble for BP, because BP is Australia based and it's close to the hearts of many people over here in Australia, in particular shareholders, because some of them have their entire life savings in the company. As you know, with news of the oil leak, BP shares went down 13%. $20.6 billion was wiped off the BP market value share in close to a day, the biggest one-day fall in 18 years. Now, the US has opened a criminal probe into the BP oil spill, and BP has begun to attempt to contain the oil leaks from the well. I mean, what a mess. Even the director James Cameron, who is an Aussie himself and is deemed to be an underwater film expert, was actually asked if he could play a role to help in stopping the leak. And I gotta say, I do feel sorry for some of these guys that earn their living from these parts, and the fact that the US is coming into the summer season would probably be making them nervous, of course. And there are some saying that the massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico could spell the death knell for BP. With Swiss investment bank UBS also has estimated the total bill of the oil spill could rise to as much as $14 billion, but I'm sure when it's all said and done, it will be a lot more than this. And regarding the oil spill, I really doubt whether BP will, cap this anytime soon, and there will be several more failed attempts, I'm sure, as you will see down the track. There is a whole other point to this, where is it really their intention to do this or not, or even to fix the problem? And it's funny that while they seem to be scurrying to fix the problem, there is another part of me that says, there is something fishy about this. Whether they've done this deliberately or not, I'm not going to lay blame on anyone here, but I know you know what I mean. And I find it intriguing that those higher up are now asking the same questions and putting that to legal parties. And what I want you to do is, just think about this for a second, just a second. For me, this is going to have huge consequences, but my main concern is that this summer season coming is going to make it difficult to try and fix a leak and to keep it contained. Because, while weather that normally occupies this region will probably get in their way. I mean, what if they get the problem fixed and they do cap the leak, and it's closely followed by a wild storm that hits the region, damages what they've patched up, and eventually they have to fix it again. It's horrible, I know, to think about that, but it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater here. And economically, they're in the process of wreaking havoc on the endangered wildlife in a beautiful geographic region, not to mention the livelihoods of other people. There are people that rely on these parts of the world and this water to fish out of and earn a living. And I think I found it interesting. I read the other day that they're even paying US fishermen in this region who have lost businesses. They're paying them up to $3,000 US a day to keep them quiet and to shut them up, so they don't take legal action. But, where is the morality in all this? You can't just do this time and time again. It's just another leaky sieve fix, if you ask me. Now, while I do think, they will get a fix to this, this is a huge world disaster, and I guess you're going to feel the effects for, 10, 20 years from now. And what I see is that BP will suffer and will be found guilty of many crimes once the investigation opens fully. But you just watch. Let me show you how criminally insane these guys are. Because money is power, and power is everything to these guys. It's everything. But when we find out the truth, I would not be surprised that BP will be found guilty of even hindering other methods they could be using right now to stop this spill, people. And isn't it weird? They look like they are in a hurry on the news, but when you see what they are doing, it seems like they are just holidayers sitting around a campfire watching it burn. It's so bizarre. No one, including me, will be able to explain fully why they keep hindering this. I just know This is something about money and greed and power, and I think there is some intent there. There's some intention for this to happen in the first place. But I'm really proud of people. I'm really proud of society as we forecast who are slowly waking up to these stories now. What was just once shrugged shoulders to these stories, people are now pointing fingers and questioning things, every little minor detail, and something that will increase over time as time goes on. And you might even be realizing this in yourself and don't really know what's going on. Well, you're not the only one. There's lots of people going through the same process, and there really is a mass waking up amongst people here as well. And with this story, we are seeing that happen. And I guess we have to remember this is BP operations in the US, and they operate around the world. But this event we are forecasting will end up greatly restricting things for them, and down the track we will see them charge many accounts, and they'll have to reorganize not only their business but the way they do and structure their business down the track. You can guarantee what a total disaster. Anyway, I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for joining with us today. Please add your comments below. Visit our site. Thanks very much for joining with me. Enjoy. Take care, and I'll talk with you all very soon. This is My Space Secrets. Thank you. Bye bye.